Hello everyone and welcome once again to 5 Homes to Freedom. This is the last lesson for Module 1. So we'll do a quick review here. Alright. So in Lesson 1 we determined what to buy, and in my opinion the best type of property to buy for this program is what we call a high ranch bungalow or a raised bungalow. Simply because of the best use of the living space, the footprint to create the largest living area possible, plus the ease for separate entrances. So that is the best property to buy. We then looked at what price range we should be looking at, and we determined that the middle income price range around the $250,000 to $400,000 price point is going to provide you the best bang for the buck. It's going to attract the best clients. It's going to also provide you with the best availability for properties and generate the highest market rent for the program. We then looked at where to buy in lesson number 2, and it was determined that we should be looking in the middle income neighborhoods, and you want to be looking at neighborhoods with features of low crime, lots of parks and schools, excellent transit system, public transit for people to get around, and lots of shopping close by as well. In lesson number 3, we started to look at how to actually buy the property. And we walked through the 5 steps of purchasing a property. We discussed working in detail with a realtor, how the realtor gets paid, the contracts you need to be aware of. There's lots of contracts out there, so you definitely want to be aware of all those contracts. And then actually writing the offer, and what inclusions, exclusions, how to structure the offer, and some negotiating as well. Lesson 4, we talked about the psychology of winning, and we started off by creating a clear, inspirational vision, something that gets you excited, understanding what your true why is, what's driving you to achieve that vision. And then once you understand your why and you got that clear vision, setting some clear goals in order to be able to obtain that vision, and also enlisting the help of others to achieve your vision as well. So that means getting some personal coaching, mentors to help you, guide you through the process to increase the chances of your success. We talked a little bit about the circle of success and failure, and it can either be a circle of success or a circle of failure, and how the thoughts will then create your feelings, and the feelings will in turn cause or inspire you to take different actions. And these different actions are going to produce very different results from what you're normally accustomed to, which will then reinforce those initial thoughts and just cause you to have better thoughts all the time. And where most people fail to succeed is between the feelings and the actions, because what happens here is you need to step outside your comfort zone, do things that are not, don't feel comfortable to you. So you, in order to have different results, you need to take different actions, and that means getting a little bit uncomfortable. So definitely worth going back and watching lesson 4 several times, because this is probably one of the most important lessons in the entire program, which will help you achieve your goals. In lesson number 5, we talked about your power team and the importance of having people working with you of similar mindset. You don't want people working for you. You prefer to have them working with you, alongside you, and everybody pulling in the same direction. So we took a look at all the team members that you should be looking at having on your team, and we looked at what they bring to the table and how to find these people as well. So that brings us to lesson 6, and we're going to be talking about your MAP, which is your massive action plan. And for many people, what they do is they focus on a dream, but they suffer from what I'm going to say ADD. Whether it's ADD or not, I don't know exactly, but you get the idea. You know, they're all over the place. So you set up they're not able to focus. You set up your goal today, and you've got this beautiful goal and dream in the future that you want to achieve. You start off in the right direction, you're focused and you're ready to go, but then something catches your attention and takes you off to the side. So that looks like a great idea. And because you're a very focused individual, you focus all your time and energy on that. But then all of a sudden something else comes along. And this continues on over the course of your life. and you're going all over the place. And unfortunately, you end up missing your goal and your dream because you don't stay focused on the true goal and dream. So that's one aspect. Another aspect is where you have no focus, but you still have that vision and that dream. So you start off today, like in another example, and you've got all of the best intentions to reach that goal and that dream. You're going to stay focused on it. You're really, really excited about it. But historically, you have lacked focus. And through no fault of your own, you just go back to your old habits, and all of a sudden you're all over the map with no direction, no focus, and all of a sudden, guess what? Life has passed you by and you've missed your goal and your dream, and you wonder, how the heck did that happen? So then, what I like to say is when you have focus and a plan, the plan will help you keep focused on that goal and dream. It's the path to get you there. So like the other models, you start off with a very clear plan and goals. But let's be honest. I don't think that anybody or very few people are able to go in a direct line from their goal today to their goals in the future without deviating off their path a little bit. Now, this deviation off the path, these dips and valleys here are opportunities that are being presented to you. These opportunities could be great opportunities, and you should stop and check them out. But what you want to do is you want to ask yourself this very simple question. Are these opportunities going to get me closer to or further away from my ultimate goal, where I want to be? And if you ask yourself that question every time an opportunity presents itself, it'll help bring you back online so that you end up achieving your goal in the very end. Now, I like to say that it's the squirrel syndrome. So when you don't have a map, it's very easy to get distracted by the shiny objects and you go off in a different direction. And all of a sudden you remember, oh yeah, this isn't what I was supposed to be doing. The map will help bring you back online much more quickly. It'll prevent you from getting offline, but it more likely will help reduce it greatly. So that's the purpose of the map. So what exactly is in our personal plan of action? Well, it's going to contain your own personal information, and if your spouse wants to do one as well, that's great, but your spouse does their own plan of action, or business partner. They do their own map, and hopefully, you share the information on your map so they overlap, so you're both going in the same direction, but your goals may be slightly different. Record your vision and your why as well, because you're going to go back and you're going to read this map on a regular basis so that your vision remains clear for you, and the reason why you want to obtain this vision is going to remain clear as well. So then you identify through the earlier lessons what it is you're going to be buying, where you're going to be buying it, where's the money going to be coming from, the financial goals that you want to achieve, the principal pay down sources that you can tap into in order to achieve your goals much more quickly. You'll then write a little summary to inspire you and wrap things up with the top 5 goals that are going to help you achieve your ultimate goal. All right, so let's take a quick look at a map. I'm going to pull it up here on the screen. This will be included as an attachment for you. So not to worry, you will have a copy of this, but I thought I would just quickly go through it with you on the screen here. So you're basically going to review all 5 lessons and update your plan. You're going to go back. Don't think that this has to be the final plan. This is just version 1, because as you go forward, you're going to realize that your vision is going to change. Your why is going to become clearer. Your sources of income may change. So you're going to be continually going back and updating your action plan, but you want to make sure you keep it up to date as much as possible. So go back and review the 5 lessons prior to today and identify your top 5 goals that you want to accomplish and put them in action. So you start off with your vision, your why, what style of properties you're going to look at, where you're actually going to be purchasing these properties, where's the money going to be coming from, whether it be lines of credit, cash, private money, joint venture partners. You just identify the people. Your financial goals, the minimum and preferred. So This is interesting. This is something we haven't talked about yet. What I'd like you to do is, let's say, for example, in order to live comfortably, you want $8,000 per month. But in a perfect world, you'd like to have $10,000 per month. So that would be your preferred. Your absolute minimum, though, 8,000, you get by very, very comfortably. But realistically, if you tightened your belt, you could get by with 6,000. So there's your range that you're aiming for now, 6,000 to 10,000. And the reason why you want to have a range is that if you set a specific goal of 8,000 and you come up shy at 7,500, then your subconscious is going to think, oh, you failed. And in reality, you didn't fail because you are well within that acceptable range. So you just need to give yourself a good wide range. Yeah, okay, continue on with your financial goals. When does your debt-free cash flow per house, what is that number? Number of houses actually required, and the time frame for completion. Where's the money, the down payment source is going to be coming from? Real estate transactions for principal paydowns. Are you going to be doing lease options? If so, what are your goals? How many are you going to be doing per year? What's the cash flow you anticipate generating? If you're going to be looking at your buy, fix, and sells, or your buy and hold strategies, assignments, again, these are all great strategies to help create chunks of cash in order to pay down the principal that much more quickly. But if you don't put it on paper and you don't create a plan, then it's not going to be your focus and it won't happen. So then you just create an overall summary of the plan that you created. I've repeated the SMART goals for you. So create your goals, identify the top 5 goals that you want to or that you need to achieve, and then based upon those SMART goals, create a plan to achieve those top 5 goals. So you're going to have 5 mini plans for each goal as to how you're going to achieve those goals. So write down your goals here with your plan and how you're going to achieve them. So that's it's a pretty basic document, but it's a very important document to have. Sorry, I'm just trying to get that closed. It's a very important document to have because it will help keep you on task, and when you do experience those opportunities being presented to you, you will be able to stay back on task. So I've just gone through and I've completed, again, this will be included as a download for you, and it's strictly an example. Bob and Sue, anyone, I've written out what their vision is, their why, what style of properties they're going to be looking for. I've basically just completed it to give you an idea of how you can create your own then. Pretty straightforward. All right, so that's the massive action plan. Now, once you have your massive action plan in place, you are entitled to a 1-hour coaching or consult call with myself. And when you arrange this, what I'm going to ask you to do is to complete a personal questionnaire, which is going to be attached as well. And I'll open that up here in a second as well. And then you're going to contact me directly through email, and we will arrange a time to do the 1-hour consult. And we can just do a phone consult, we can do FaceTime, we can do Skype, whatever works for you. If we're close by, we can also do a live consult as well. I have no problems with that. And what the questionnaire looks like, let's bring it out here. Pretty straightforward as well. And keep in mind that some of this information is quite personal with respect to your incomes and so forth. So you don't have to share anything you don't feel comfortable sharing. Keep in mind, though, the more information I have about you, both historically and where you want to move forward, the better I'm going to be able to help you zero in on what you should be focusing on. So obviously, I would encourage you to provide as much information as possible. And what I'm looking for is the sources of income in the family, the level of education, your skill sets, what interests you, your children, and you wonder, what the heck does interests and children have to do with all of this? Well, it tells me a lot about who you are and the environment that you're operating in. Is it a very supportive environment? Do you have lots of naysayers around you? Because we may need to address that as well. A little bit of history about why real estate, what got you into it, what experience you bring to the table. Talk about your why. I want to hear what your why is, and I'd be willing to bet money that I will be challenging your why, because many people will not have uncovered their true why. So we may spend 10 or 15 minutes just going over that. It's extremely important to get that understood. Your financial information, what assets you have, and the value that they currently have with respect to the debt as well. And what I'm looking for there is sources of potential equity in order to leverage that. There's a personal budget here as well, which you can use, or you can just go to Excel and you can pull one off yourself. But the whole point of this is to get you to follow a personal monthly budget. This is something I hate doing myself personally, but when I do follow it, it's amazing how much money you can save, because you're now aware of where you're spending money. How many coffees you're buying at the local coffee shop, how many lunches are you buying out. And depending on how serious you are about reducing the debt as quickly as possible to achieve your financial freedom, if you can free up an additional $100 a month from your personal budget and apply that towards your debt reduction, you'd be amazed at the difference that that will make. And then what are your goals? Let me know what your goals are, and any other additional information that you feel may be relevant to our discussion. So that's something that you're going to be completing before we have our actual coaching call. So that's the end of lesson 6, and it's actually the end of module 1. So we will be following this up with a live recorded webinar where I will very quickly just go over all of the lessons. The webinar will probably be a minimum of an hour and a half, so make sure you book the time off for that, and could very easily stretch into 2 hours. It all depends on the number of questions that people have. If you know you have questions, even after you've gone over and watched all of the recordings from lessons 1 through 6, you still have questions, I suggest that perhaps you email those questions to me prior to the live webinar. And if I feel that they are going to be of value to the rest of the class, then I will actually answer the question live on the webinar. Otherwise, I may just simply respond via email. Plus, you can, during the course of the webinar, ask questions. It is definitely easier, though, if I have the questions ahead of time, just so I can print them out. It's easier to read and be prepared for them as well. So that's it for lesson 6, module 1. I hope you enjoyed it, and look forward to talking to you on the live webinar. And if it's not live for you and you're listening to the recording, congratulations for getting through module 1. I hope you enjoyed it and learned lots. Feel free to ask questions, and look forward to seeing you soon. Take care.